Don't know what happened there. The camera cut off. I was saying now that, this is part 4 here, sorry about that. Now that every time we have a question about something, there are 20 other questions that come along with it. We can't just produce a quick answer about something and say this must be how it is, and say, well, nobody can prove it's wrong, because a scientist can grab a microscope, go look at it, and see if it's right or wrong. So we look at today as in, we have all these great technologies, but they've overwhelmed us to the point where we don't even know how to really find an answer anymore. It's like one of my subs pointed out yesterday, mentioning the observer effect, that you can't even tell what something is until you've looked at it, and then you've influenced what it is by looking at it. This is called the observer effect. It's on the quantum level, but when you look at something through an electron microscope or whatnot, I'm not sure exactly how they do these observations, but when you observe something on the atomic level, you can't interpret exactly what it is, because the way you observe it depends on how it's. In other words, a good example is particles and waves. Scientists believe that particles and waves were different things. And then they did the double slit experiment, where they would shine a light through these 2 slits, and it would produce multiple slits on the back wall of light. You'd have to look it up yourself to understand how it works, but what it's showing is that they found that it acts like a wave or a particle depending on how it's observed. And that means that the observer has an effect over its immediate environment. So in ancient times, people would say maybe, you can manifest your destiny. Now we have a way to say we can actually manifest these micro-destinies, and perhaps lend a little bit of credence to that idea that we really can maybe mentally change the world or influence the world around us. And I think that's an important key component to that, because you can manifest your own desires, you can manifest your own fears. Ultimately, you are trapped with yourself, and nobody else is going to be able to bail you out of anything. And what we expect is our government to bail us out of everything. And that's why the powers that be have utilized that fear of unknowing, that fear of being sure if you're really doing life right. Getting a good old pat on the back from Uncle Sam or the college to say, you've done good, you've done good. But if I could leave with one idea, one notion about how to know how to behave, it would be to observe your elders. Observe your elders.